Hello, today I'm reading the tale of Peter Rabbit. Mr. Rabbit goes into town. Okay, let's do a quick lesson. Mr. Rabbit had four little bunnies. Their names were Moxie, Floxy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived in a hole under a tree. One day, Mr. Rabbit said, "We need bread. I I'll go into town to buy some." She grabbed her basket and an umbrella. Mr. Rabbit looked at her bunnies. "I will be back soon," she said. "Can we go outside?" asked Peter. "Yes," said his mother. "But don't go into the farmer's garden. Your father went there and he never came home." "Okay, mother," said the bunnies. Mr. Rabbit
Mrs. Rabbit headed off to town.
Mrs. Rabbit headed off to town. The bunnies put on their jackets and shoes. Then they went outside. The four bunnies hopped out a path. "Look over there," said Moxie. "I see a blackberry bush." "Yum," said Floxy and Cottontail. Floxy, Moxie, and Cottontail ran to the bush. Peter's sisters started to pick blackberries. "I don't want blackberries," Peter thought. "I go into the farmer's garden." Into the garden, Peter hopped through the woods. A path led to the farmer's gate. Peter slid under the gate and looked around. "I see green leaves everywhere," said Peter. Peter wandered through the garden. He ate some lettuce. He ate some green beans. He ate some radishes. "These vegetables are delicious," said Peter. "I'll eat some more." Then he hopped around the corner. Peter gasped, "The farmer!" The farmer gasped, "A rabbit!" Peter ran. The farmer grabbed his rake. He chased Peter. "Stop, thief!" cried the farmer. He swung his rake at Peter. Peter ran fast as he could. His heart beat fast. He lost one shoe near the cabbages. He lost his other shoes near the potatoes. "Where's the gate?" cried Peter. He looked around. Suddenly, he ran into a net. A big button on his jacket got caught. "Ah!" cried Peter. He kicked and twisted, but it was no help. "I'm stuck in the farmer's net," cried Peter. Chase! Dun, 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 dun. "Help!" cried Peter. "I'm stuck in this net." Some birds flew over to Peter. They tried to help him. "Don't give up," called one bird. "Keep trying to get free." "Take off your jacket," shouted another. Peter stopped crying. Quickly, Peter slipped out of his jacket. Now he was free, but the farmer was still chasing him. Peter ran away fast. "Get back here!" cried the farmer. Peter dashed into the shed. It was filled with garden tools. Peter leapt into a watering can. Splash! The can was filled with ice water. "Brr," said Peter. The farmer rushed into the shed. "Where's that rabbit?" said the farmer. Peter shivered. He heard the farmer moving things around. The man was looking for Peter. Where are you, Rabbit? muttered the farmer. The farmer's footsteps are close now. Uh-oh, whispered Peter. He felt a tickling in his nose. He felt a tickling in his nose. The tickle grew worse. Achoo! Peter sneezed. Aha! cried the farmer. Peter jumped out of the watering can. Hey! cried the farmer. Peter ran and ran. Finally, the farmer stopped chasing him. Where's the gate? asked a mouse, but the mouse ran away. Suddenly, Peter gasped. A cat! The cat was watching fish in the pond. She didn't see Peter. Phew, whispered Peter. He quietly slipped away. I must find the gate, said Peter. Scratch, scratch. Peter heard the noise. He climbed into a wheelbarrow to see. The farmer was working in an onion patch. Scratch, scratch. Then Peter saw something else. The gate! Peter, he cried. Peter shot across the garden. The farmer chased him. Stop, Rabbit! But Peter was too fast. He squeaked under the gate and ran home. Mr. Rabbit scolded Peter. Naughty Rabbit! You lost your jacket and shoes. The other bunnies ate bread and blackberries. But Peter didn't get any. Peter sneezed. Mr. Rabbit gave him medicine. Then she sent him to bed. Mr. Rabbit goes into town.
The bunnies hopped down the path.
The bunny hopped down the path.
I'm going to the farmer's garden, Peter thought.
I'm going to the farmer's garden, Peter thought.
The bunnies put on their jackets and shoes.
The bunnies put on their jacket and shoes.
Mrs. Rabbit and her bunnies lived in a hole under a tree.
Mrs. Rabbit and her bunnies lived in a hole under a tree.
Mrs. Rabbit looked at her bunnies.
Mrs. Rabbit looked at her bunnies.
Excellent!
Into the garden.
The farmer grabbed his rake.
The farmer grabbed his rake.
Peter ate some radishes.
Peter ate some radishes.
The farmer chased Peter.
The farmer chased Peter.
I'm stuck in the farmer's net, cried
stuck,
Peter.
I'm stuck in the farmer's net, cried Peter.
Peter squeezed under the gate.
Peter squeezed under the gate. The chase.
Peter leaped into a watering can.
Peter leaped into the watering can. Peter leaped
into a watering can.
Peter leaped into the watering can.
Some birds tried to help Peter.
Some birds tried to help Peter.
The farmer rushed into the shed.
The farmer rushed into the shed.
Peter shivered.
Peter shivered.
Peter slipped out of his jacket.
Peter slipped out of his jacket. The garden gate. Dun 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 dun.
Mrs. Rabbit scolded Peter.
Mrs. Rabbit scolded Peter. Naughty Rabbit!
The other bunnies ate bread and blackberries.
Yeah, another bunnies ate bread and blackberries.
Peter shot across the garden.
Peter shot across the garden.
The cat was watching fish in the pond.
The cat was watching fish in the pond.
Peter sneezed.
Peter sneezed. Garden gate. Okay, and do you like my video? You made me one like, one subscribe, and goodbye.